Halloween. It's a time for spooky decorations, for children dressed as superheroes, for children dressed as princesses, their laughter echoing through the crisp autumn air. We tell ghost stories around crackling fires, we carve pumpkins into grinning jack-o'-lanterns, we watch horror movies that make us jump, but we know it's just for fun. The thrill is temporary. The monsters are make-believe. But what happens when the line between a playful scare and genuine terror blurs? What if the real monsters aren't wearing masks at all? Sometimes, the most chilling tales are not found in fiction, but in the unsettling reality of what people are capable of. These stories don't involve ancient curses. It was 1974 in a quiet suburb of Houston, Texas, a night like any other Halloween. Children were out trick-or-treating, their bags filling with sweets. Among them was 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien, led by his father Ronald Clark O'Brien. To anyone watching, they were just another family enjoying the festivities. But something was terribly wrong. That night, Timothy would eat a piece of candy, a pixie sticks, that his own father had given him. It was laced with a fatal dose of cyanide. The boy complained that it tasted bitter, then went to bed. He never woke up. The community was thrown into a state of panic. The idea of a stranger poisoning Halloween candy had always been a terrifying urban legend, but now, it seemed to have become a horrifying reality. Parents across the city and soon the nation dumped out their children's candy, fearing the worst. The police launched a massive investigation, desperate to find the monster responsible for such a heinous act. But the monster, as it turned out, wasn't a stranger at all. The investigation soon turned its focus inward, toward the grieving father himself. An unlikely suspect, or was he? Detectives discovered a chilling truth. Ronald Clark O'Brien was in severe debt, over $100,000, and just before Halloween he had taken out substantial life insurance policies on both of his children. His motive, investigators concluded, was shockingly cold and calculated: collect the insurance money to solve his financial woes. He had allegedly given poisoned pixie sticks to 4 other children as well, likely to make his son's death look like a random act of madness. But, by a sheer stroke of luck, none of the other children had eaten the deadly candy. Only his son, Timothy. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. Across the Atlantic in the historic city of Seville, Spain, another Halloween season horror was about to unfold, one that would grip the nation for years to come. It was the night of October 31st, 2009. A 17-year-old girl named Marta del Castillo left her home to meet up with friends. She was a typical teenager, full of life, with a bright future ahead of her. She told her parents she would be back later, but she never returned. That night, Marta vanished without a trace, swallowed by the darkness of the city. The search for Marta began almost immediately. Her family, frantic with worry, plastered her face on posters all over Seville. The police launched an intensive investigation, questioning friends, family, and anyone who might have seen her that night. The primary suspect quickly became her ex-boyfriend, Miguel Carcano. Under questioning, his story began to crumble, and soon, he confessed. But his confession was just the beginning of a twisted, agonizing ordeal for Marta's family. It was a confession that would change, again and again. Over the course of the investigation, Carcano and his alleged accomplices provided at least 7 different versions of what happened to Marta. Each story was more confusing and contradictory than the last. They claimed they had disposed of her body in a river, then in a landfill. Back in the United Kingdom, in the county of Kent, Halloween of 2011 was meant to be a day of innocent fun for a young boy named Charlie. He was playing outside, exploring the fields near his home. Lying partially buried in the dirt, he saw something round and pale. At first, he might have thought it was a ball or an old Halloween decoration, but it wasn't. It was a human skull. The police were called to the scene immediately. The area was cordoned off,